Well, welcome back to Midlife Explorer. We're in a different location today. We're actually in Murray River, Prince Edward Island. We're staying down here for a couple of weeks. So I'm out for a quick little paddle on Murray River. I'm going to paddle upstream today because it's too windy to go downstream down to the ocean, because we can get to the ocean from here, 7 kilometers downstream from here. But today we're just going to paddle upstream for a little bit, because the wind's gusting up to 30 kilometers an hour and a steady breeze of about 21. So I'm going to paddle into the wind for a little bit and then we'll start heading up. I'll head up the river for a bit anyway and go and explore, and then we'll see if the wind quietens down and perhaps turn around and go down river from there. But brought one of our kayaks down to Murray River, Prince Edward Island. Brought the Necky this time because it's a little easier to transport, and it's the oldest of the 3 boats that we own. So if you are going to lose a boat, this is the one I would be least concerned about losing. That would have been nice to have the Dagger, but I still love paddling this boat. It's an easy boat to paddle, so fun little paddle anyway. I've been really looking forward to getting out and kayaking, and I've been down here every summer for the last 5 or 6 years, and actually I've been paddling down here a few times, but this is the first time I brought my own boat, so should be interesting. Anyway, I'm going to paddle across the river for now into the wind, and then we'll turn around and start heading up the river. I have been so looking forward to getting out and doing this. We've been here a couple of days now, and there's actually a storm coming up the Atlantic seaboard, so the winds are starting to pick up. So I'm not sure how much kayaking I'm going to get done in the next few days anyway. But that's typical for the Maritimes. You know, if you're down here in late August, which is, where we are right now, it's the last couple of weeks of August, you can get storms. Weather's good though, a little cool, but very nice day otherwise, but a bit windy, although once I get into the inner harbor here, it'll be fine. Once I get upriver a bit, I don't think I'm going to have any trouble. It'll be nice and quiet up there. So, if the weather permits, I am going to paddle down river, see if I can actually make it in the kayak out to Murray Harbor. But in the meantime, I'll stay close to the cottage, because you never quite know what will happen. The wind's been picking up throughout the day today, so. But the good news is I've got it at my back right now. Murray River, pretty little village, obviously a fishing village. Only brought one of the kayaks down though. We actually own 3, but we only brought one because the owners of the cottage actually have 4 kayaks here. I did want to bring one of my own though, because it's nice to paddle your own boat. water is super warm though. I can't believe how warm the water is. Murray River is on the, I guess the southeast side of the island, so it's on the Northumberland Strait. So normally the water is warmer on the Northumberland Strait. One more bridge further up. We're going to see if we can get underneath that. I'm not sure how much further up the river we'll get though. Really the paddle is downriver from where we're staying, not upriver, but again, it's too windy for us to get down. I mean, I could probably get down. It's getting back up that would be the issue. But so we were down a couple of years ago, and we went paddling. Actually, rented kayaks, but we went paddling on the Morel River and paddled down Morel River. We had them drive us up river and paddle back down to St. Peter's Bay and then out into St. Peter's Bay. And that was actually a nice little river to paddle on. And then a few years before that, we actually went out and did some sea kayaking out in Cabot, I think it's Cabot Beach Provincial Park, but that was good fun too. Again, too windy that day and the waters were too rough to get out into any open water, but at least we got to go and paddle around one of the bays. But that's the reason why we picked the cottage that we did this year, because it's got access to the river, and looking forward to doing some paddling this week while we're here. It's funny, we have a swim platform out from the cottage that we're staying at, and the cormorants sit on that thing all day long. There's 6 of them on there yesterday. Oh, look at that. Somebody's property. I wonder if I can get out there. I think there's a pond on the other side of that dam. I wonder if we can walk over that. Yeah, you can see the wind I gotta head back into. That should be interesting. I got a pretty good breeze on the way back. Paddle down has been easy. Paddle back's going to take at least twice as long. Mr. Butler, if he'd come down, he would have been complaining all the way back, I guarantee you. Next bridge is going to be interesting. Let's see if I can get underneath here. I don't think there's much river on the other side of this, but we'll go and check it out. Doesn't look like there's any flow anyway. You know this is not going anywhere, David, but we'll prove it to ourselves. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. And that's why we have the necky today. Because the necky has been up and down the Grand and the Nith for the last 5 years, so we're not worried about the necky. Now, that is as far upstream as you can get. There's no point in going under that bridge. There's nothing on the other side. Well, there is, but it's not navigable anyway. I had to have a look. I think if I'd brought my dagger with me this week, I would have potentially ventured further downriver, because at least it's got a skeg on it, and I would be able to hold my direction in the wind a little bit better. Although this boat tracks really well, and it's quite easy to maneuver. We'll see. I'm going to get back out into the wind in a minute. We'll see how far I can get downriver, into the wind, up into the wind. The good news is, at least the wind will be pushing me back to where we're staying. So I will continue past the cottage for a little bit anyway, and then we'll head in. As soon as I get around this corner over here, you'll start to see the wind. And we start to feel it already now. There's that wind. Well, my old necky Manitou. Now that I'm back in it again after paddling the dagger for the last few months, I do notice the dagger tracks better even without the skeg. This is still a good boat though. I still really like this boat. And the thing I like about it the most actually is it's nice and light. It's easy to put on top of my car. I have an SUV and I use a J-rack. So when you're moving stuff around, I'm actually the dagger, I bought that because I can also get it on and off the car by myself. But this is a couple of pounds lighter and you notice it. Had a lot of fun in this boat. Lots of trips down the Grand River, down the Nith River, Big Creek, the Thames, the Speed. I've had a lot of good paddles in this boat. And now on the Murray River in Prince Edward Island. This is actually part of the cottage that we're staying at. So we can walk over to the very edge of that point. I think it's about 6 or 7 kilometers downriver if we wanted to get out to those islands. Too windy for me to try that today. I think on a different day I'll try to get out there. I'll make that a morning paddle. Better in the morning than the afternoon, I would think. Wind's dying down a bit now, though. Gonna have to look that up and see what that is. I guess it's mussels or I guess oysters. I don't know. Mussels maybe. There's a lot of them here in the river. PEI mussels. But I'd better head back now because I'm sure my lovely wife is worried about where I am. That will be sending out for the Coast Guard now. Anyway. I think it will be time for us to plan a longer excursion on a different day. But I think just to keep my wife happy, I think I'm going to head back for now. Because I'm sure she's wondering where I am. Nice little paddle though, I enjoyed that. I'm going to do this again tomorrow. And the next day, and the next day, and the next day. I'm here for another almost 2 weeks now. Anyway, heading back to the cottage now. Quick little paddle up and then back down the Murray River. We're down here for a couple of weeks, so I will definitely be back out on the river. And we've also got our bikes with us, so we'll be checking out the Confederation Trail while we're down here. And I like to also check out the local lighthouses, so I've got a couple of lighthouses picked while we're down here. We're going to go down to Cape Bear, for example, and then up to Souris. But if you've made it this far in the video, thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out with us. I'm really excited to be back down in PEI. We come down every summer because our daughter goes to school down here. I'm also looking forward to watching a little bit of footy because she's got 4 games while we're here, so it's going to be a great 2 weeks. But anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you on our next outing. I'm not quite sure whether it'll be on the water or on the bikes yet, but we'll definitely be doing both, so we'll see you in the next video. Cormorant's been hanging around that thing the whole time we've been here. What a great spot. I love this spot.